This is Jennifer CH. Thanks for joining the pod.
Hey everybody, I'm Jennifer CH with Push Humanity. So we're going to be digging a little further down to Palestine. Now I want to do a little portion where to explain to you why the Irish connection with Palestine is so strong. And I have a cold, so forgive me. Alright, let's talk about the historical connection to Palestine. Palestine has been around for thousands of years. It's rich in culture. Its history is extremely rich, and it was for Arabs, Jews, Christians. It was for everybody. They allowed everyone. Historically, it was part of the Ottoman Empire before becoming a British mandate after World War I, colonization. In the early 20th century, tensions grew over Zionist movement promoting a Jewish homeland. They were promoting Jewish supremacy. Bibi was just heard on TV saying the other day, the Americans must die too. They spit on Christians. They crucify them in the holy city. And we have Christians in this country who are supporting that. Because unlike this rapture that didn't happen, of course it wasn't going to happen, you can't manipulate the Bible and God. You can't manipulate him. He's not on your watch. He's not going to come to you because you gave away your car. Read your Bible. So the Balfour Declaration was signed in 1917, and subsequent British policies facilitated increased Jewish immigration, leading to conflicts over land and identity. Come on in. Everybody come on in. We know this isn't ours. It's not our land, but we say it's our land, just like the Americans did to the Native Americans. It's ours now, right? Poor Palestinians. All they wanted to do was live where they had been thousands of years. And did you know that Palestinians were the original Christians? So for all you Christians, you better get right with God. The Nakba in 1948 just means catastrophe. It's when hundreds of thousands of Palestinians were forced from their homes, displaced, just to form these illegal settlements, these Palestinian territories. An ongoing struggle of self-determination has persisted. It's not going to stop. The connection is deep. Their blood is tied to that soil, to that land. This is where their ancestors are. Would you leave America if a country came over here and said it's ours because we said so? No? Well, that's Israel's plan one day. Oh, so we need to talk about... Sorry, I put on my notes here, so... Because there was no way I was going to remember all that. Alright. Why does the USA place their interest ahead of ours? So why does the United States seem to prioritize Israeli interest? Historically, it stems from a mix of factors: strategic alliances during the Cold War, powerful lobbying groups like AIPAC. They need to register as in FAIR. They have to. They're not an American lobbying group. They are for Israel. AIPAC. It's like saying his name 3 times. Apparently they shared our democratic ideals that have fostered close relations. No, they shared money, is what they shared. However, on a deeper level, it's also about power dynamics. Of course it is. Supporting Israel has often served our own causes, right? In the Middle East. Maintaining influence over oil reserves, sound familiar? And regional stability. Unfortunately, this often comes at the expense of the Palestinian people. The unwavering support has caused U.S. foreign policy to be often seen as biased. It is, absolutely. Everybody knows it. Hindering genuine efforts towards peace and justice. It's crucial to understand that all these questions affect millions caught in the conflict. These aren't Hamas. Maybe some Hamas were killed. These were children. These were babies. They could have been your babies. You know, America, it's like we're the Roman Empire. The Roman Empire thought they can never be brought down. We're the Roman Empire right now. So how did we become this big A state? I just can't say the word. The trend toward an A state. Across the globe, including in some parts of the U.S., we are seeing alarming signs, attacks on the free press, Jimmy Kimmel, and in some places was used to justify increased surveillance and restrictions. Think Palantir and Peter Thiel. This shift toward A tendencies isn't just about governments, it's about how societal norms can be altered, political opposition can be silenced, civil liberties compromised. Recognizing these signs is vital to defending democracy and holding the powerful accountable. We're going to go over a couple of these, okay? Societal norms can be altered. Just a few years ago, it was unconscionable to think that thousands of women now, but children then, who were abused would be used as political fodder. It's crazy. Both sides should have released it. Yes, it's both their problems, but only one side is trying to fix it. And I want all their names. I don't care if Bill Clinton's in it. I don't care if Obama's in it. I don't care. It's not about these powerful men for us. It's about that we get justice for these thousands of little girls. They were little girls at the time. It could have been your child. Okay. So we talked about voter suppression. We're seeing that with gerrymandering states, with throwing out votes, trying to make you have 100 IDs. You know how that goes. And closing down DMVs in poor areas. Centralizing their power. I wonder who's doing that with the help of Congress. Think tariffs. And it erodes our democracy. And it is eroding our democracy. Even if it stopped today, we will never, never be the country we were. Nobody's ever going to trust us again. And honestly, that may be a good thing. All right. So what do we have to do to resist? What does resistance look like? So it can bring many forms. All right, let's start with one. Organizing. Not everybody's meant to be out in the street. Some people are just better organizers. Protest. Everybody should be at protest. White people should be at protest. Civil disobedience. And digital activism. You know, when the during the French Revolution, they weren't saying please. They were tired of starving. And you guys, we are headed to a very, very dark place. And I don't understand how all these people who were lawyers, who were inventors, who were builders, who were, people who thought, were philosophers, how they could just play so easily into this, which leads me to believe it is a cult. I talk to people coming out of it, how, people I knew before, how can I make it right? You can't make it right. It was never wrong with me because I have privilege. You have to make it right for the people that you hurt in your life. And until that happens, I can't be a part of your life. All right. Fighting for justice as much as we have left. Being vigilant. Being vigilant. Be a fly on the wall. You know what I noticed? Just because you're white, people think you believe what they believe. Sometimes I'm in a store, I'm just sitting there. And because I don't say anything about them saying some horrible stuff, I am listening. And I am documenting it all. Because I'm going to write a book about this. Across the world, we've seen resilient movements fighting for justice. Whether it's Palestinian liberation efforts, Black Lives Matter, or democratic uprisings in various countries, including the latest flotilla that's now being guarded by a Navy ship and a Spanish fleet, as well as Spanish ship. And I hear the Greeks are going to give them one of their ships too. If Israel thinks for 1 second. Even North Korea said, you harm Greta Thunberg, we're gonna nuke you. I didn't know him and Greta was like that. You know, but he's not playing. These people are not playing with Israel anymore. Resistance also looks like raising awareness, educating others. So it is very difficult for me to say, oh, you're not MAGA anymore, without going, go fuck yourself. You know what I mean? But you can collaborate without being friends. Meaning, once they show you they have changed, okay, I'm over here, you're over there. But in one or two things, we can be bipartisan, if that makes sense. Never trust them. Educating others, building alliances, okay, that challenge opposition, oppressive systems, excuse me, just don't feel good. Oppressive systems, what could they be? Trans people not allowed in the military, having the military on our streets terrorizing its own citizens. I was in the 82nd Airborne Division. I jumped out of planes in the 90s. I can't imagine I would have even been asked to follow through on something like that. We would not have complied. They have an obligation not to comply. The Nuremberg defense is no defense at all. Ask the Nazis hanging by their necks. Saying I did it because I was told to is not, I repeat, is not a defense. You will be court-martialed. Trump is not going to live forever, and J.D. Vance thinks he's getting Trump card pass. I don't know how he got it, but he did. He always got a pass on everything. That will not extend over to J.D. Vance. And if we do get J.D. Vance, do you realize, Maggie, you just gave us our first trans president? Just saying. Just saying. All right. Personal perseverance. Change is possible. It is. Change is possible, but it requires perseverance, courage, and a shared commitment to justice. If you are not committed, meaning if you still can't have those tough conversations with your best friend you've known your whole life, or somebody you used to have coffee with every Saturday and loved her to death, you have to cut these people off. They didn't vote for Bush or Reagan. They voted for a man they knew was going to tear your communities apart. You knew. But because it happened to you, it's happening to you, now you're waking up. You can't expect us to say kumbaya, motherfuckers, and all is well. You got to get back to what you took them for so long. You have moves to make. You have fruit to bear, if that makes sense. I will not forgive that easily. I'm from the ginger delegation. We're definitely not going to forgive that easily. All right, everybody. This is the end. I wanted to give you that information about Palestine, the Ottoman Empire at the time, and Ireland's friendship. So Ireland and Palestine have been compared due to their similar histories of occupation and resistance. Ireland was under British rule for centuries, while Palestine was under British mandate from 1920 to 1948. This shared experience has created solidarity between the two nations. So in 1980, Ireland became the first state to recognize Palestine as a state. And that was probably the only only country for years and years and years. And so key moments in Ireland-Palestinian relationships: early support, Ireland's early endorsement of Palestine, public demonstrations, government stances. So how this started was the Ottoman Empire at the time, which included Palestine. During the Great Famine of 1845 in Ireland, 1 million people died and 2 million more emigrated out of Ireland. All right. Had it not been, so they offered 10,000, and Queen Victoria only offered 1,000, and they were ordered not to give more than that, as to not to embarrass the Queen, and they complied with the money portion. But they stowed around and brought all their ships, medicine. They brought more than the money would have bought. They were there for us. A lot of our families tell us, you know, especially, I'm not from a family that came here from hundreds of years ago. I'm second generation Irish. And I remember the stories. You may not be here. You may not be here without them because that's how we ate. That's how, you know. I'm sound like a country girl with that. I'm trying to imitate something I know. I'm in a red state. That's the only thing I know right now. All right. So we go way back. And we love each other. We really do. Because we understand each other. So the friendship between Palestine and Israel serves as a powerful example of solidarity and shared understanding despite geographical distance. These two nations have found common ground in their experiences of occupation and resistance. Ireland's continued support for Palestine demonstrates the strength of this bond. That's all I wanted to add to that. You guys have a wonderful night, and I'm going to get this edited and uploaded. Okay, I'll probably upload it in the morning because it took me so long to redo it. But y'all have a wonderful night, and please subscribe, like, comment, share any of you thoughts you might have. I would appreciate some insight. Okay, thank you.